WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was granted bail by the High Court in London and was released at the Stansted Airport during the afternoon, where he boarded a plane and departed the UK. Assange left Belmarsh maximum security prison after having spent 1,901 days there. On his release, WikiLeaks said this is the result of a global campaign all the way to the United Nations. This created the space for a long period of negotiations with the US Department of Justice. The charges against the WikiLeaks founder in the US stem from one of the largest publications of classified information in American history. Assange, 52, has agreed to plead guilty to a single criminal count of conspiring to obtain and disclose classified US national defense documents. Julian Assange's wife and WikiLeaks editor Stella Assange thanked their supporters outside the London prison. Further, Stella told news agency Reuters that she is elated but also worried until the deal is fully signed off. She further said that they have almost got Assange's freedom.
I feel elated. I also feel worried, because I'm so used to this. Anything could happen. I'm worried that until it's fully signed off, I worry. But it looks like we've got there, and Julian's free. So I'll really believe it when I have him in front of me, and I can take him and hug him, and then it will be real.
The cost to Julian, of course, has been to be deprived of freedom for all these years. In the battle for journalistic freedom, freedom to publish, foundation of democracy.
Elsewhere in Australia, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that he wanted Julian Assange brought back home to Australia as soon as possible.
The government is certainly aware that Australian citizen Mr Julian Assange has legal proceedings scheduled in the United States. While this is a welcome development, we recognise that these proceedings are crucial and they're delicate. Given these proceedings are ongoing, it isn't appropriate to provide further detailed comment. I will say, though, that the Australian government has continued to provide consular assistance to Mr Assange through the UK High Commissioner, Stephen Smith, who travelled with Mr Assange when he left the United Kingdom, and US Ambassador Kevin Rudd, who is also providing important assistance.
Now, free speech organisations welcomed Monday's news of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange's release from jail in Britain, but also said that the US case had still set a bad precedent by punishing him for this long. My colleague Ollie Barrett is in London. He takes this story forward from me here and also gives us more on other stories making headlines around the world. Ollie, what happens next for Assange from here? Australian Prime Minister wants him back home.
Well, Tanvi, he's on his way there, in that direction at least. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, as you were saying, landing earlier in a Bangkok airport to begin with. A video posted by WikiLeaks on X showed Julian Assange signing a document before boarding the plane from London. Assange is due to be sentenced to 62 months at a hearing in Saipan on Wednesday, but won't then spend further time in prison because of the time already behind bars here in the UK over the last 5 years. Now, ahead of Assange's court appearance in Saipan, the governor there said that the island has less potential for a lot of chaos with the press. Assange is en route to a courtroom on the island where he's expected to plead guilty on Wednesday. According to US prosecutors, Assange wanted to go to a court closer to his home of Australia, but not on the continental United States.
The closest jurisdiction to Australia that's in a US soil with a federal court. Obviously, I mean, we could also think about it. there's less potential for a lot of chaos with the press and press coverage and all that. So they wanted to get this done efficiently and get it done and
DD India's Laura Westbrook has more.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has left a British prison and is on his way to the Northern Mariana Islands via Bangkok. Now, these islands in the Pacific were chosen because of Assange's opposition to traveling to the mainland United States and because of their proximity to Australia. Now, security in Bangkok was reportedly tight when his plane landed, and according to the BBC, he was unable to be seen from outside the terminal, and he's unlikely to leave because of immigration protocols. Now, his plane is being refueled in Bangkok before he heads to Saipan in the Northern Mariana Islands. This is where on Wednesday he's due to appear in a US courtroom where he will plead guilty before moving to Australia, a free man. Now, this comes after years of legal challenges and diplomatic pressure, including from Australia. And the Australian Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, has said that no matter what your opinion is, this case has dragged on for far too long. In Hong Kong, Laura Westbrook, reporting for DD India.
There's been reaction international that lead to the WikiLeaks announcement that its founder, Julian Assange, has left a British prison. Expressing his happy reaction, US presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. posted on X that he says Julian Assange is a generational hero and will go free. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel also wrote on X that what he called his long and cruel punishment will remain in the memory of the people.